Heyo, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Unlikely Heroes Studios Presents. Today, we are going to be talking more about Black heroes and why they matter, but first, let me introduce my mostly always present co-host, Lori Foster.
Hey!
How's it going, Lori?
Pretty good. We just unloaded.
Because of the one time with the internet thing.
That's
it happens.
So far, the internet is holding up. We got a new radio for our internet today, so fingers crossed. We'll see what happens.
So you were saying you got a new, and then I cut you off a little bit.
Oh, you're okay. We got the Elsewhere 2 delivery in, so I was just admiring it and showing everyone, and it's a brick. This thing is, I don't know, it might be 2 pounds, pound and a half. So I'm very excited to ship these out to backers.
It's like an old style phone book. We can use it to hit people or something. I don't know. That's my first. Every time somebody shows me something, my first instinct is like, what? Who can I smack with this thing? So
it could totally be a weapon.
Yeah. Well, and it wouldn't leave a bruise either. So like, if somebody is like, she hit me with the book, and I'd be like, prove it. No pics. It didn't happen. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, before we get ourselves into any more trouble, we should probably bring on our guest, who is, as we all know, the indie comic world's self-prescribed and we voted. We all voted, and we all decided that he is the most enthusiastic fan in indie comics. So let's bring him on. It's Mike Watson. Hello, Mike.
Oh, what's up? Look, that intro music felt like I was a drummer, man. I was like,
I saw you in the little thumbnail just jamming out down there.
I mean, it just takes a hold of you. I was all like, all right, let me share. Let me get to my networks. And then I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's good stuff. The first time that we ever used it. Do you remember that, Lori? It was super loud. It is still super loud, but it's just the first time we were all kind of like, this is a little anxiety inducing. It's so fast.
It kind of amps you up. Yeah.
I was just excited to have a song that wasn't some stock stuff I found on the internet that was actually free to use, and it was, it was something custom that, well, I guess semi-custom, because Eric made it for us and he put it together so that I could add it to the countdown, and ta-da! It worked out really well.
Yeah, I'm definitely, once I get this Kickstarter done, I'm definitely going to be talking to Eric about some theme music for Hotshot. That shit was like, oh man.
Oh yeah. You should go back and listen to some of the super videos on YouTube or something, because those are all him too, and they're crazy. So we got a bunch of people already commenting. We've got Astian on Twitch. I made it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Possibly our most faithful viewer. I don't know.
I think so.
Because underneath we got Heather saying, "Hey, Mike," and Heather is also here a lot. So Heather and Steven might be competing for that title. Steven Lightman, is it Lightman or Leitman? Lightman, probably, right?
I think Lightman.
Hey.
Hey.
So yeah, thank you for coming. So today we want to talk more about Black heroes in indie comics. We had a really good talk on our last episode with Hannibal and Malachi and
Brian.
Brian, yes.
Yeah.
He had a kind of a dodgy connection. It was unfortunate because he was talking some really good stuff. But anyway, today we want to talk more specifically. You have a Kickstarter happening right now, right, Mike?
Yeah, I got a little something like that going on. The Hotshot collection Kickstarter happening right now. So it's making some waves out there in the scene.
Absolutely. I mean, I think did you hit goal in just like a day or two? It's very good.
In 42 hours we hit goal, so that's a first for me to hit that soon. So pretty damn exciting. Again, shout out and thank you to everybody that helped make that happen, because it really was because of the indie community that I work with and the fans of the indie community that happened so quickly. So big shout out and thanks to all of them.
Oh, let's make sure to get a link there so Stephen can share.
Steven's on Facebook
right now.
Yeah, on Facebook. But yeah, you. Oh, hey, you just went up. Yeah, you're just over 8,200 now.
Yeah. Yeah. We're getting closer.
Got another stretch goal at 85.
Yep. That's another digital wallpaper. But so we just at 8,000, we just unlocked the art book, the digital art book of pinups of Hotshot, drawn by me and some other artists. Some stuff that people just have not seen yet. That's just been locked in the bowels of my computer, and I'm just like, forget it. It's time to let it out. Time to let the beast loose. So that's one of our stretch goals right there that we just hit, and I'm very excited to get to I'm all about stretch goal 10 for 10. We hit 10,000. Everybody gets the brand new issue of Hotshot number 10, which is currently getting the flats added onto it, which then Veronica will be coloring. Lori Foster is knee deep in the inks on issue 11. I just sent her some more pages. I can't wait to see what she does with this double page spread I sent her. Oh my God, comic making is fun.
So excited.
And this is why everybody calls you the most enthusiastic.
Yeah.
I try to live up to the name.
I mean, that was some excitement.
I tried to live up to the name. It was just cool last night because I was working, and then I was like, you know what, I'm getting in the bed and I'm working, and I brought my iPad and my little bed table that I have, set everything up, plugged it up, and I'm like, I'm about to finish this double page spread. I'm tired of it. It's kicking my ass. I'm about to get it done, and I got it done, and then I just was like, boop boop, sent to the drive, and I'm like, hey Lori, let me know if that's good enough for you. If I need to go back in and change some stuff, I will. But I'm hoping that's good enough because I'm that I had like 3 or 4 different layouts for that page, and then finally got something that I liked, I just can't wait. Like I can't wait for y'all to get this book because I'm gonna punch y'all in the face with it. You're gonna be like, oh shit, it's a new issue of Hotshot, and you're gonna be like, what is this? What is he doing to us? Like, it's called telling the story, man. You guys have been asking for it.
I just recently learned about Hotshots. It wasn't that long ago, like that I met you. It was like a year ago, I guess, about. Mm-hmm. And this is actually the first time that I backed your Hotshot Kickstarter, and I am so excited to dig in there. I have now seen some of it, of course, but yeah, like I'm really excited to get my hands on some stuff there because I'm not as familiar with the Hotshot universe as I want to be.
Oh, I want you to get familiar. I want all of you to get familiar as more people. So there's this constant argument that's a part of Hotshot. It's the relationship between our main character Mike, aka Hotshot, and his girlfriend Carla, and it always causes an argument online whenever I'm on stream or whenever somebody brings it up. And now that more people are getting to read the book, I'm actually getting more people on my side for Carla, and I've been outnumbered for so many years. So I've been trying to tell people she's right. She's right. You got to look at it from both sides.
Yeah. That's something that I actually am like. I don't feel like I'm ready to take a side yet, but I just love watching everybody. That I'll be like, if I'm just strolling through Facebook looking for cat videos or whatever, and that's the only thing Facebook's good for is funny videos and cute cat pictures. And I'll see something that it won't even be one of your posts, and then somebody else, Team Carla, under there, and I'll be like, what? Wait, what? And then I have to tap in there and see what the hell that was about, and it's always about Hotshot.
Dude, it's like my favorite thing to see in the on online now, because like now whenever people talk about hated characters or characters in relationships, somebody is bringing up like, why aren't you talking about Carla because she's trash? And like, you would think that would hurt my feelings, but that's why we make these stories. So people will argue about our characters. Like, somebody dislikes the character of Hotshot so much, not because she's a bad character, but because they don't like her her perspective, her choices in the story. They don't like it. And like, because if they're reading it, it's like I would totally do something else, and that's what I want. I want people to get connected with these characters, find the relatability in it, and then cast your opinion. Do you think Carla's right? Do you think Mike is right? I mean, Mike is a superhero, but he was lying to her the entire time that he was a superhero. And now with the resurgence of Invincible into a different medium, I think people are starting to get it. There's a lot of crap that goes on in this superhero life, and that old age rule of keep the secret identity to yourself, because Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne said that 50 fucking years ago or whatnot. Times change. This is a new era we live in. It may not be the best thing. What's up, Katie? What's up, J-Man?
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, Katie. And J-Man and
Hey.
Steve Lightman says, all right, it's up on Reading with the Flight Rings page and Twitter. So cool. Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
Thank you. What's up, Brad?
If you guys aren't following Reading with a Flight Ring, Steven does a whole shitload of comic book reviews on there. So if you want to know where to find out about reading the best comics and what comics are shit and what comics are good, then you can check out Reading with a Flight Ring.
Reading with Flight Ring. There it is.
Yeah.
I found them. Following.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to decide what, like I said about the whole Carla and Mike thing. I just like watching them pop up randomly, and it's 90% of my day is apparently spent scrolling through Facebook.
People get so mad and invested in characters, though. Like, I like it. I think it's, I like it.
Yeah.
We had a
Yeah.
lot of backlash for the streak from Super because he's kind of a douchebag. Like, he's
Yeah.
kind of a perv. He's kind of a douchebag, and people were like, "Why do you have a character?" Well, because like he's a character and he's gonna undergo growth. And like this is how this works. Like, not everyone is perfect right off
Right.
the bat. It doesn't work like that.
Oh, absolutely.
If it's already you're familiar with the term Mary Sue, right?
Yes. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
learned
Like, if
about that.
Yeah, if the streak was already a Mary Sue, then already good at everything and perfect, impeccable character, then the story would be boring. Then he would not be a character that you would ever want to focus on ever, because he would be dull. Like that's the whole reason that characters have to have flaws,
Yeah.
including being a gross, pervy douchebag.
I absolutely hate and don't get that terminology, because I got associated with Mary Sue with Star Wars Episode 7, the new one, and everyone was calling Rey a Mary Sue, and it was just making them so mad. And I was like, "Are you guys serious right now? If Rey is a Mary Sue, Luke Skywalker absolutely is a Mary Sue. Like, you can't tell me that he's not. Like, I can point out things in Rey's story that make her a badass and make her have the ability to fight. But Luke, tell me something in Luke's past that makes him a starfighter. A tail of a womp rat? What the fuck is that? He can hit that? What does that have to do with a Death Star? At all. And flying an X-Wing has nothing to do with it. And if you take the outside lore out of Star Wars and just base it off the movies, how did Luke become a Jedi Master? From one movie to the next, all of a sudden he's a Jedi Master. Yoda was so annoyed with Luke Skywalker that he rolled over and died instead of answering questions.
I could bitch with you on that one for ages. That's mine too. I was like, who the fuck taught him to be a Jedi Master? There was only the one guy. When Luke came around, like, the entire Jedi Order was gone by the time Luke came around. So how the fuck did he learn to be? And who decided he was a master? There was nobody left to decide that he was a master. He's just like, well, I'm the only one left, so I guess I'm a master now.
He was just like, ooh, gold star. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, he awarded that title to himself.
Right. Like, of course you're the master when there's only like 6 people in the entire galaxy that can do it, and they're all in hiding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but everybody wants to complain about Rey, and it's like, Rey, since she was a child, she has lived on her own and fought for her survival and her life. Like, Every single day she's out here fighting to live and to eat. Luke was getting dinner, supper, breakfast, and lunch from his auntie and uncle every day, safe and secure. Mm-hmm. But we're gonna complain about Rey. Hang out of here with that crap. I'm personally a fan of Rey. I enjoyed Rey. I'm also in the camp of I love Finn. I wish we would have got more story from Finn, and I am in no way, shape, or form saying the new Star Wars movies are perfect, but that whole Mary Sue thing really annoyed me, and I'm like, how are you gonna? You forgot about Luke, right? Like, I mean, I like Luke too, but come on, man, you can't give her crap and not give him crap.
Agreed. Yeah. I don't see how people can possibly say that, because I mean, Rey, like, how many people were making the comparison that Rey in the first story was just a reboot of episode 4. It was just a reboot. Yeah. And I was like, it was just Rey is Luke is Rey, and I think that Rey has a little more character depth than Luke does, so I think she's a little more interesting. Plus she's a woman, and up until that point, if you were watching the original set, like back in the 70s and 80s, the original 3, you had Princess Leia. That was it. You had Leia as a woman to identify with and to want to be, and the boys had Luke and Han and Lando. I'm like drawing a blank now. I'm trying to think of all the names. Like, I can't remember anybody. Like, everybody. Like, there was so many cool characters that were guys in there, and then we had Princess Leia, or like that horde that was chained to Jabba. Like, that was it. There was hardly any women in there, and now we have Rey. And
you know what sucks about that? You know what sucks about that? That entire thing that you just said with Princess Leia. Leia's actually the strongest person in the whole damn franchise.
Oh, hell yeah. And she got no screen time.
No screen time. She got no respect. Leia is the only one that never, ever, for a second, for a moment, it never came across her mind to cross to the dark side. Your boy Luke Skywalker, every time he lost, the dark side. Every time. Leia, not once. My homegirl flew in space, and people were like, how did she do that? The Force! What more do you need to know? Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And I love that we, in the newest set of movies, we're like, she was just like, fuck being a princess. I'm a general now.
Yeah,
like princess is bullshit. Like, I want to be a general. So she was leading the whole goddamn army is this fucking... we are not talking about the right story. We're supposed to be talking about Hotshot.
It's okay. It's just where the conversation carried us, and it was, I like to get some stuff. Yeah. Brian's in the comments. He said he built his own lightsaber. It's in the original prints, but he likes Rey though, and a womp rat is the same size as the opening. Thank you, Brian, for giving me the clarification. It's still not qualifications for me. I need a thorough resume. Be able to get in that X-Wing and just fly the way he did. But I still love Star Wars. At the end of the day, I still love it. Still a great series or whatnot. But an even better series is the Hotshot series, because it does deal with light and dark. We have a massive character that a lot of people enjoy by the name of Void, who is just the Debo of the comic book game right now, and he comes into this book and smacks Hotshot all the way around, because Hotshot literally is a rookie superhero. He's only been doing it for a couple years. He hasn't really faced anything to the scale and depth of Void. And when he fights this dude, he's completely out of his league. He has no idea what's going on. And it seems like Void knows more about Hotshot than Hotshot does of himself. So we got some mystery going on there. But at the crux of the book, it's about human nature, dealing with family, dealing with relationships, friends, school, work, and all this stuff. And how do you juggle all that stuff while trying to maintain a relationship and be a superhero? It's 10 issues in. We do have 10 issues out. This Kickstarter is collecting volume 1 and volume 2 in the 2 trades. And we're also making the entirety of the FSK library available. So like, if you are looking for something new to, like, I want a new comic book to read, but I want to go with the indies, but they only have 1 or 2 issues. Not over here. We have 19 issues. We have 19 issues in our books in a connected universe. Hotshot has 10 out right now. Vigilance and Heroes International has 3. Source Cypher has 2 issues. We have our source book with that only has 1 issue, but we got 2 more done in the whole. Emerald Quest, 3 of them done in the whole. So this Kickstarter is really your ticket to the FSK bus. You do not want to miss this ride. Use this Kickstarter to get caught up on all your reading. And you know what? You don't even have to get all the books. You can just get some of the books. You can digest this at your convenience. That's the thing. We put the power of time in your hand, But I'm telling you right now, you're going to get that first issue, and then you're going to be like, shit, I should have ordered the rest of them. I got to know what happens. Because there's some cliffhangers, baby. For sure.
That sounds awesome. I'm excited. I think I ordered. Oh, now I'm gonna have to go back and check and see what I backed for, because I don't remember anymore. I was like, I don't want a fucking cliffhanger. That's gonna piss me off. Make sure that doesn't happen.
I need all these books right now.
Oh shoot!
God, I only have like $22 left in my checking account too.
It's the best part at comic book conventions, which I can't wait. And I'm so glad that they are starting to come back. Oh shoot! I think we just got a pledge 5 minutes ago. Thank you to Party Pat ZC. Thank you for your pledge. We just got one in 5 minutes ago.
Oh, that's Astian. Is it Astian or Astian? I think it's Astian.
Astian.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
But yeah, that's him.
Thank you,
Steve.
That was like the best thing at comic conventions. Right. That was like the best thing in comic conventions, because I don't ever want to try to come off like a salesman, like a car salesman at cons or whatnot. But I started to notice, like, if it's an indie book, kind of like the general rule of thumb is, if people like you and and they think you're cool, they'll just buy your book out of support.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll have those hardcore comic book fans that'll come over and, like, if they like it the way it looks and they flip through it, they'll buy it just off of the quality of the product or whatnot. But then I noticed when I started going to conventions that people would buy the first issue, and if it was a 2-day show, they would come back and get the second or third issue. And so then I was like, so later on, as I saw that happening more and more, and people just buying the first issue, I'm like, look, I promise you, and I know you're not going to believe me, but I promise to God that it's not a salesman technique. I'm telling you, you're probably going to pick up the other 2 issues. All right? Just based off of experience, people buy the number 1 issue, and they come back the next day and get the 2 and 3. And, they're pissed because they wanted to read it that night. I'm not trying to sell you a dream. I promise you. So I think I'm going to have to start, like, recording testimonials so I can play it for people up there or whatnot. But, like, I had this one mom and her son come back. It was like a Wizard World show. And they came and got the first 2 issues. And then Saturday they got 3 and 4. And then Sunday they came back and bought the whole set. Like, they went back to the hotel room, read them. She's like, oh, my God, let's go. We need the next set of issues. So, it's great when, you got a 2 or 3 day convention show and it works like that. But I always try to advise people, you want to at least get the first 3 issues. And I'm telling you, you'll be sold. When I was trying to convince women that weren't into comic books at my job to get into it, I would just give them issue 3. I would just give them issue 3, and they'd be like, that sounds like I was arguing with my boyfriend. Where's the rest of it?
Like, I want to know.
That's awesome. That's outstanding.
I want to know what happens
with that. The buying the 1 issue and coming back for the rest. I've had that happen with the surgeon, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yes, with Super it was harder because I only ever had volume 1, and people were a little bit what's the word? They weren't quite sure about paying for the whole thing if they were gonna like it, so they wanted just issue 1 to try. And I was like, this is all I have. And I was like, tell you what, go read it online and then come back and you want to buy the book. I know you will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes go read the free preview and then you'll come back.
All I needed to do was see that first issue. When I saw the art for the first issue, I was completely sold. I said, this is banger. Let's go. Like, it makes me I'm so sad that book is not continuing because it was fantastic. Mm-hmm. It is one of the best comics that we have out. Like, I do not lie. Like, that is my honest opinion. that art, that story, the punchlines of the jokes, just it is spot on. Oh my goodness, I would have loved to see him do, you know, a Marvel or DC or Boom Studios title, because like I just feel like that was destined. Like the way he was drawing this book, I just think like at any point it was a given that it was going to happen. Like you were going to see on the timeline, I'm doing this Marvel book.
It was not if, it was when. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely going to happen. And yeah, and Super is such a good story. He bitched once with me. I don't remember what we originally started talking about, but he bitched with me once about how he was so mad about the current political climate because people were gonna think that he ripped off Super from.
Oh.
And he's like, but I thought of mine first. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. I can't help you. And you know, back to that con thing, nobody could sell a comic book like Zach could.
Yeah.
He would always. I mean, I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I first started, but I got to the point where I could sell books pretty okay with the size of the crowds that we would get at the cons that I went to. But like, nobody was ever going to be as good at selling those books as he was. So
I think it helps to have just an artist sitting there and drawing too, because people are drawn to that, and then they start talking to the artist, and like Mike said, like once they see that like you're cool and they like you, like a lot of the time they'll buy your books just because they're like, oh, this art looks awesome and you seem awesome. So.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I feel like that's why people would buy the crap on my table, like my personal art stuff, like, 'cause like they come over and talk and I'd be just a weirdo and they would think that was funny and they would buy something. So
but that's what cons are for. That's what conventions are for. It's for talking and networking with people and, you know, building your audience. I like when I go to conventions, I automatically write it off as a promotional weekend. I am there for the weekend to promote myself, my brand, and the comic books to as many people that will hear. When people have bought their tickets to a comic book convention, it's like you have signed an invisible contract that allows me to pitch my book to you because you bought a ticket to a comic book convention and you know all that entails at a comic book show. Do you have to buy my book? No. But yes, I do have a right to talk to you about the comic book and pitch it at you. So I don't want your lips all upturned while you're holding your beer in your hand and you're trying to walk down the alley and not make eye contact with me. I make eye contact with you. You're not avoiding me. It's happening. Just, you know, tell me no. Let me get I've got my pitch down. I got my pitch to under a minute. So, you know, hear the pitch, deal with it, and it's yes or no. You're not going to hurt my feelings, but I will pitch to you.
That's the risk that they take by walking down the artist alley. Like you just got to know that's probably going to happen.
Absolutely. We're out here trying to sell our stuff. I know you're here to get a Walking Dead signature or your Captain America shield signed by Chris Evans. I don't care. If you got $300 to do that, you got $5 for this book that's genuine and real, damn it.
Exactly. And it's what you're supporting by buying an indie comic is like you are doing so much more with your $5 than you ever will by going over and getting your $20 signature. You know, you are making somebody's entire weekend by buying one $5 issue of their book versus a signature from one of those actors who they're never going to remember you. I mean, how many times do you go to cons and you get people that come up to the table and we're like, I saw you at such and such a con, and you remember the conversation that you had with them, you remember who they were. Like I have that happen a lot.
Yeah.
And that's important too, and that's what happens with your $5 when you buy that book from the indie creator. Is that, you know, Chris Evans isn't going to remember you next time you see him,
unless you kick him in the ankle. Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. He seems like a nice.
He does seem like an awesome dude.
And also, you would go to jail forever if you assaulted a Marvel star.
Well, I'm curious then, what is your pitch for Hotshot? Like, you should do it.
Oh, yeah, I want to hear it.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
my pitch is
your con skills are rusty, right?
No, I don't think so. It's just that my pitch is devious because I have like 3 different levels of it.
Okay.
So you ladies know what the difference is between a hard sell and a soft sell, right?
Yeah.
All right. For our audience that may not know, a soft sell is when somebody is walking by and they seem interested in your product. Like you see them looking at it, they've slowed down, they're starting to walk over, but they're not sure. So you have interest. Or somebody comes up and picks up your product and they're looking at it. That's a soft sale. A hard sale is completely selling to someone that has no idea who you are, what you are, and they don't even notice you. They're not even looking in your direction, but you still try to pull them over and sell them anyway. So whenever I do, get out there and I'm selling books and I'm sitting in front of my table or whatnot, and people are walking past, I try to find immediate connections, whether like what type of shirt they have on, or if they have prints or arts in their stuff or whatnot. But let's say somebody had a shirt on, I'd be like, oh my god, that shirt's so dope. Where'd you get that from? They tell me, I'm like, oh, I actually have a print of that character up there on the wall. Now, if you like that character, Spider-Man is one of my favorite characters. Oh my god. If you're into new books, I have a book that's like Spider-Man Invincible. It's about a young man named Hotshot, and at this time, I'm already grabbing the book and I'm putting it in her hand. He is in college trying to prove to his girlfriend he's not cheating on her without revealing he's a superhero, but not get kicked out of college because he's never there because he's a superhero. Yes, you got it. This is your book. It's almost like it was meant to be in your hand. Here's another thing about this book. That's not just the first issue. I got 10 of them. 10. So you can get this and you got more to read. Look, this is what I'm going to back up. Just let you soak that in. Take a look at the table. You got any questions or anything, just let me know. I got to get back over here on this commission real quick. Just take your time, flip through it. I'm here. I'm here whenever you're ready. That's my pitch.
Nice. Sounds like it would be pretty effective. I don't have.
I like that. Is devious. I like that. That's good.
The other thing I do is I don't do it at every show because you don't know what shows are. I don't know what all the different shows that would allow me to do it, and I kind of gauge this on I do it at a GalaxyCon and a Wizard World show in Baltimore because they have huge lines waiting for people to come out. So I make these little tickets with my table number on it. And I print free item on the back of it. So I print something for cheap, like a trading card or a button that I can give away for free at my table, or a comic book size print. And every morning, half an hour before the show floor opens, I go out to the line with my boom mic, and I go out there with like 100 tickets, and I start talking to the people. I do trivia with them. I freestyle, but I'll ask them to give me character names, and I'll freestyle live for them right there. And whoever participates, I give them tickets. And if I have people that are helping me, they hand tickets out to everybody there while I'm doing all the entertaining and stuff. And my pitch is, hey, I'm Mike Watson. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Now, you probably didn't know that because you never saw me before because this is my first time here, which is okay. And I have to do what my mother said. A closed mouth does not get fed, and I'm trying to eat. I make comic books. I want you guys to see them. I want you to see them so badly that I'm going to bribe you. I'm going to bribe you to come to my table. That ticket right there in your hand, come to my table, listen to my pitch for my books. You will get a free item. You don't have to buy nothing. Just come over and listen to me talk about them. If you like them, great. We're in business. We'll get some books. If not, I still love you because you came over, you listened, and you're still going to get a free item for kicking it with me today. And most times it creates a rush and people come to my table, and I have like 10 or 15 people at my table right when we open up. And those 10 or 15 people are creating a crowd at my table. And so I get back in front of the table, pull out my boom mic again. And now I'm not talking to the people in front of me. I'm talking to the people that are behind them, that are next to them. And I'm doing my pitch to that whole alleyway to get people to come back over.
That free item idea. That's a fabulous idea. I didn't even consider doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that down.
Yeah. Katie says I need some of Mike's sales ability, and I agree. I need it too. This selling is not my strong point at all.
I don't know. You sound like you're definitely better at it than I am. I think I'm okay, but only because I'm a sort of personable. My customer service persona is amiable, so I think that's what my ability is, and I don't have the big performance skill that you clearly have, and that's what I need is like the ability to perform. And And animal bonus too, apparently.
all you need is an embarrassment card. Like, I have no embarrassment card at all. I don't care. I tell her, like, before I start freestyle, I'm like, this is either gonna sound good or it's gonna sound like hot trash. I am not Jay-Z. I'm not Nicki Minaj. I'm just an average dad out here trying to put some words together to a beat. So we'll see where it takes us.
Well, either way, it must be entertaining to the people watching, even if it's good or bad. Like, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I need that. I need to get rid of that embarrassment thing and just not give a shit. Like, it's like there's no reason to give a shit. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need that. I need that drug.
The more positive reception that I get, the more that whole embarrassment thing goes. Like, the less I care, the more positive reinforcement, the less I care. So, like, I'm willing to make a fool of myself if you clap for me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, once you're comfortable with yourself and you kind of just like block it out, like I am here to work. I'm here to sell comic books and spread the brand and stuff like that. But it's a comic book convention. I'm here to have a good time too. Like, so what are the big studios not doing that I can do because I'm closer to the people than they are? How can I connect with them? Well, they don't need to come outside and talk to the people in the line, because once the doors open, they're going to have a line because they are who they are. And then, like, when I noticed that and I walked past them, and I was like, these people are sitting here bored as hell. They're just bored. They're sitting here for 45 minutes to an hour waiting to do nothing, and no one is talking to them. And so, you know, and there you go. Paul Henson's in the building. What's up, Paul?
Hey, Paul.
Katie.
Katie said she's entirely made of embarrassment, and I about started to, I was like, I went and I just was able to catch myself because you were in the middle of it, and I was just like, oh, Katie.
That is the cutest thing I have ever heard. Like, Katie, adorable.
Katie is adorable, and she doesn't give herself enough credit. She is adorable. And Paul said, Mike, I got the first 3 yesterday. Beautiful.
Oh, yes. Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, thank you.
He's talking about his chat and draw books.
Oh, sweet. What was I going to say?
And hey, Paige.
What's up,
Oh,
Paige?
yeah, Paige. So I missed that. Yeah. I'm just so tired today. I was thinking about the whole talking about Black heroes, and I wanted to ask you about your character Hotshot, and then all the characters in your books, obviously, to whatever degree, but Hotshot the most, because Hotshot's the star. He's the name of the book. How do you feel that Hotshot specifically and Black indie superheroes and Black indie frontline characters in indie comics are important to independent comics in general, but also to just the public at large, to have that Black hero as a main character, and the what's the word, the surge of more diversity in general, like overall. Like, how do you feel that Hotshot fits in with all of that?
I feel like Hotshot fits in there in a certain kind of way, because that wasn't my goal or objective when working on Hotshot. I just happened to go to college at the Columbus College of Art and Design, and Columbus is a melting pot. We have all types of people there. So when I'm drawing the Hotshot comic book, I'm just drawing what's my experience and what's my life, which is I'm around a diverse group of people. So I'm going to draw a diverse group of people, because that's the world we live in. So the intent for Hotshot was never to be a Black superhero represented for the culture. It was just to have the culture. It was just there, just to exhibit life in the world that we live in. But as I became more self-aware, as I got older and had more experiences, and especially being with the indie community that we are now, and taking in so much more media, movies, TV, and stuff like that, I do see the importance of having a character like Hotshot out there, and us continuing to do what we do. Our characters are super diverse, as in gender, size, shape, color, and sex, and everything like that. But I also don't want to do something just to have it by the numbers. Like, we have a character that is a lesbian, and my previous writer we tried to throw it in there to build it up because we didn't want to make it the point of the book, right? But we wanted to start to hint to it or whatnot because it shouldn't be, oh God, we have a lesbian character. Everyone turn into this issue because we have one. No, it's a part of life. It's just how we are. It's how we exist. And we should have gotten more consultation on it because it failed. It didn't work. So no one knows that this character is a lesbian or whatnot. So we want, when we do start to attack that and unravel that, we want to make sure we have consultation. We want to make sure that it is genuine. And it's not just to, it's not just to sell the book. It's to make sure we're paying respect to it. Because I do want to have a character for everybody out there, that somebody that they can relate to in some way, shape, or form. But we want to make sure we're not just doing it just to do it. So I think that's what people dislike about Marvel and DC, because it seems like they're just trying to do it by the numbers, which I digress. Why should you care? Because at least they're doing it and they're going to open up the door for other things. But that's another topic. But we do want it to make sense and do it, what we feel is the right way. So just having those stories and, people being able to pick up those books. And like when people walk past my booth and they see Titan, like my thicker women, when they walk past and they see Titan, they get so happy. Like they smile and they're like, who is that? I'm like, that's Titan. She is a reborn Titan of Hope. She's one of the characters in our superhero book. And, and then they get excited about it. They want to buy it. When we had Vigilance #1 sitting on the table, and she just had this iconic pose of her cape flowing in the wind, and she was looking back at the camera. Like, women would walk, their bodies would keep moving, but their head was locked on the book, and they'd come back around. And, it's just like seeing stuff like that. And you don't immediately get the connection with Hotshot being a person of color because he has a blue costume on or whatnot. But then, when kids open it up and they see that and they're like, oh, that's dope. Or like when my nephew shows kids these books and they're like, yeah, this is Hotshot. And they see that it is a black person under the mask, or, that there are other people, in the world of these comic books that they can see in the real world, and they're rubbing elbows and ankles with and stuff like that. It's, it becomes a norm. And I think as a creator, I understand both aspects of it. And the Marvel icky DC way that everybody hates, to a degree, that's needed, because there's still an audience that needs to be slapped in the face with the diversity hammer versus a movie like Shazam or, Enter the Spider-Verse that just has everything in it, and it doesn't need flashing lights. It doesn't need a sign. Like when I got to the end of Shazam, I was like, oh my God, they have so many different cultures in here in one roof. It's like it's a completely blended family, and they didn't smack me in the face with it. So there's different audiences for different, there's different mediums for different people. And I know a lot of people complain about it and how it's done, but it's like, at the end of the day, their company's trying to make money, and they're smart enough to know that their audience is broadening and people are looking for it now. So that's what makes it even better, that people are looking for it. And, if they're not satisfied, with Marvel, these people are actually now coming to us. They're looking at indies. And that's, that's pretty incredible. I think I've gone way off your point now. I'm sorry.
No, it was good. Very thoughtful. And you've obviously put some thought into this about, how Hotshot fits in. And I actually was thinking about when you said that was never your original intention. It was just to write and draw about the world around you. And that is almost like, I was thinking about that going, well, that's the way it should be. Like, we shouldn't ever see, like, we should get to, I long for the day when we can go ahead and just not care about the race or the gender or the sexual orientation. Like, it's just, I love this character because this character is awesome, and not, have to feel like we have to list specific reasons. Like for me particularly, it would be, oh, I love this character because finally we get a woman,
Mm-hmm.
like that's how I am with that, because I'm just and so lately we're starting to see more women take the forefront, take center stage, and it's really great for us. And then but to have the whole story be just like, she just happens, it just so happens that she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be the ideal. That's what we should be working for, is that, so that we don't care. It's not, we don't have to point that out. because it's not a remarkable thing to have a black person be the star, or to have a woman be the star, or to have a lesbian be a star. You know, like that's. I hope that we can get to that point someday.
Yeah, like one of my favorite stories is Korra, the Legend of Korra. I absolutely love her narrative, and I know people hate it, and I'm like, but why? You were absolutely on Korra's team. You were absolutely a fan of Korra until she kissed that girl on the very last episode, and to me,
kiss her.
Oh, they just started to kiss, or they leaned in for it.
No, they got right close. Like you knew what was going to happen, but they never actually.
But they didn't show it. But yeah, but still, that made people upset or whatnot. And I'm like, I don't understand why, because like this series has literally been a journey story for her character. It literally, yes, like she literally
was her only identity. And you see it from her being discovered at the age of 2 or whatever, that she's the Avatar. Her entire identity is I'm the Avatar, and she didn't know who she was.
Exactly.
Dick in the beginning, like Korra is an asshole at the beginning of the series, and she becomes somebody that is worthy of being. Like I don't think that she was worthy of being the Avatar in the beginning because she was too arrogant and she was too sure of her invincibility, and like who cares if she loves Asami? Fucking shit, man.
I know, it's just
let it go.
It's just how it played out, and like I absolutely agree with what you're saying, because like she wasn't worthy of being an Avatar. She was a jerk because she was so arrogant, but like she was doing things because she thought she was supposed to. She was just following like whatever she felt like the society's rules were, instead of actually discovering who she was. And like it was a legitimate growth to get to that point. And I was like, obviously, I was like, okay, they kissed when this it went black, whatever. But I'm like, that journey made sense. Why are you mad? It's some of the best character development, progress that we've seen in the story. But
there was a ton of it too. There was they did so much with, what was it, 4 seasons?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was a completely different person by the time you get to that kiss at the end. It's a completely different person.
And like I
don't know. Have you read any of the graphic novels that take place after?
I have not gotten any of Korra's. I got some of Aang's, but they're just hard to get. Like if you don't get them right when they come out. So I've been trying to chase them down on Amazon or whatnot. But I absolutely love that story. Korra and Avatar are a huge inspiration to me. Naruto, Invincible, Spider-Man, like those are the type of stories that I want to tell, and like that's why I'm so excited. And like a lot of you who are fans of Hotshot are going to want to punch me in the face, because the new story arc that's happening, like I want to push Hotshot, like I want to put him in a place where I have to write him out of it, and like it's going to be somewhere he does not want to be. He's going to question whether he's even worthy. If he is a hero, does he deserve to have these powers? Like, is he only being a hero because he has these powers? Because there was a time in his life when he didn't have powers, and to him, he didn't choose to do the right thing. And I don't want to reveal what that is, but I know when people see it, like Lori knows exactly what I'm talking about. But I know when a lot of people read it, they're going to be able to relate to it, because like it's something that, when you go through that type of experience, you definitely feel it. Like you definitely have those thoughts of failure and regret, and like wishing that you could have done something at that time. And like I really want to question that with Hotshot and push him to his limits. The story arc is called Unforgiven. It's going to be done. It's in 4 parts. Like I said, issue 10 is getting the flats on right now. Lori is working on the inks for issue 11. Issue 12 and 13 are already written. And I'm almost done with the pencils on 11. I'm going to jump right over to 12. It's just, it's a very personal and close story. Like I talked to my mom in real life about it, to let her know that I was writing it, and she was perfectly cool with it. I told her about the story. She really liked it. And, it comes down to like, these are like conversations that I had with my mom when like this type of thing was going on. So I hope people hate it and like it at the same time. Like the experience of going through it, like, oh no, why is this happening? But like be involved and be invested in the story at the same time.
It sounds like you got this like very, very detailed plan. So I'm excited. I'm
As you should be. I am too.
It's gonna be intense.
It is. Oh my god, the page where stuff like kind of start to hit the fan. Lori, I was like, Lori, I kind of want you to ink it like this and like this and like this. And Lori's just like, Mike, just shut up. Give me the pages. Let me just see it. And then like she just killed it.
In the comments, Paige said, Mike, do you ever have a Hotshot cosplay at a convention?
Yes, as soon as I lose 50 pounds.
You should cosplay is for every size.
I understand that. I'll rock with you.
Spandex is not for every size, right? No, I feel you.
Yeah, like I see my profile shot in the mirror, and I'm like, man, I've got to get physical. I got to get active. But everything I do involves me sitting down, and like I'm tied and invested in so many things. I do want to make a Hotshot cosplay. I really do, but your boy's got to lose some weight. And that's my own personal preference because I get winded. I get winded real easy. Like I used to be able to run laps, play football, kickball, all that stuff. Now your boy goes up the stairs to get his Chipotle and he's winded.
Oh, I mean, I'm laughing because I feel you. I walked down the hallway the other night. Might have just been last night. I don't remember. Like days are just one big thing. But no, I walked in and Jeffrey startled me, and like that was like, okay, now I got to sit down and take a nap. Like that was too much for my heart.
I do, Katie, but I don't think too many people want to see me in a cheerleading outfit again.
I don't know. Katie seems ready. I don't know.
Oh shoot!
It was and I should I should not do this on a regular basis, but like Katie just had a birthday, so maybe you could do that for like a belated birthday present. As a cheerleader tour.
Mike as a cheerleader for Katie's birthday.
Ooh, and then could you do like the Marilyn Monroe Happy Birthday song for it?
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
I think I burned my brain a little bit when that one popped into my head. I was like, I like it seemed like a really good idea, and then I said it out loud, and I was like, I don't think he's gonna agree to that one.
You know what?
I don't know. I feel like people here would up their pledges, like to see that. Like I feel like.
I mean, I feel like if we hit 10 grand, I would feel a little frisky. I would don the cheerleading outfit again, and I'd redo that video with the new chairs on it.
Nice.
You know, but we'd have to hit 10,000.
Yeah, we could totally do that. We could totally do that, guys. He's just under 8,500 right now. The Kickstarter address is right under my finger here. You should go and like up your pledge and tell people to pledge and get Mike to 10K, and we'll see what he can do.
If there's one thing Mike is good at, you're good at like tons of things, but also good at follow through, because if he says he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. That's why you end up having to do so many damn push-ups, right?
Right. Yeah. I actually need to start. I need to start adding more push-up incentives, because that would probably help out some more and at least get me doing some kind of physical activity or whatnot. But Dana was cussing me out the other day because I've been announcing new tiers and new things to add on to the Kickstarter, and she's like, if you don't stop adding stuff. I'm like, obviously it's getting you to buy stuff. Brad was in my inbox like, dude, stop it now. But how do I get this added on?
Oh, shit.
That's a good sign. Keep going. That's a good sign you're doing it right.
I know. Like, look, hey, I promise y'all. If we get to 10,000, I'll stop. I'll stop adding stuff. I feel like this is my goal. This is my personal goal, to get this thing over 10K. And as soon as we do that, and I get a couple hundred over that to secure the 10, I'll stop.
Oh man, I hear you there.
Oh no, that's seriously, every time we've hit a big stretch goal like that, the first time it ever happened, I got excited and I announced it like 3 seconds later, and then like 5 seconds later, someone drops.
Yeah,
Like it's like fucking clockwork.
like I said, like we were at like before we got here, there was like a $130 pledge on here, and then like I sent my update, and then that pledge canceled, and I was like, "What? Did my update piss you off, dude? What happened? What's up?
What did I do?
What did I do?" I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know how to take it. I want everybody to see the updates. I'm not trying to be annoying.
No, you're not even doing them that often. It's fine. I don't know. I can never tell like why people drop. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure everybody has a different reason, and some of them are probably actually really interesting, but what can you do?
Yeah, you got to just roll with it, and but it's been fun. It's been a very interesting Kickstarter. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster with the up and down, back and forth. A couple of pledges have dropped off, but you know what? I'd rather have them drop off now than after we cross the line, and we're trying to tally up everything. So appreciate the people just saying, like, obviously if they can't do it, they can't do it. So we'll try to catch them on the next one.
Works for me. I just had a cat hair like caught in my eyelashes. I've been trying to get it, and I just got it now, and I just feel like I won the fucking lottery.
Yeah, that does not sound like it feels good.
Oh shit. There's still something weird in there though. Everybody tell me if you can see it. And I had like a thought that I was really excited about too right before that. False.
It's okay. We're doing fine. If anyone has any questions for Mike or for us, feel free to throw them in the comments.
Yes,
about Hotshot or about us, or if we missed any questions, we might have missed something.
I think it was Paige said she likes your glasses.
Oh, thank you.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of Cora comments here. Katie said that she didn't like Cora to start with, but liked her more towards the end. Astian Steven said, not gonna lie, toddler Cora saying, "I'm the Avatar and you gotta deal with it" was one of my favorite moments.
It was adorable.
I have something for you.
Oh, Katie said, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is my voicemail alarm. Let me see if I can get it to my.
I'm the Avatar. You gotta deal with it.
I love it. I love it.
That's my voicemail alert.
Katie said, I want to know why Morgan hates Carlos so much. Because Morgan's racist. I'll use a Morgan answer to answer a question about Morgan.
Yeah, where the hell is Morgan when we need him?
He's in Facebook jail again. Again. I think he's got like.
Did his jail account get jailed too?
I think he's got like 5 more days, but Morgan just.
My God.
Oh, I mean, we got to get that guy on Twitch or something, man. He's
oh yeah, he should
let it go. Just to give up on Facebook.
Yeah,
they're gonna ban him permanently one of these days.
Just be on Twitch. There you go. That's his backup. But Morgan feels like once Carla found out, and this isn't a spoiler. It's a big part of the story. It's the direction that we're going with it. But once Carla found out that Mike was Hotshot, and that is why he's always gone. That's why he's always late. It's not because he's cheating on us, because he is a superhero. Once she found that out, Morgan feels like then everything should have been off the table. She should have instantly forgave him. Because he also saved her life that same day. And what I've tried to explain to Morgan is it does not work that easily because it's a trust issue. Like, you're in a relationship with this person, and you have, number one, you've literally took the choice from her to fully participate in this relationship by not telling her something that's so big, and then you continually lied about it. So that looks or appears to be that is more important than the person you're choosing to be with. Your secret was so important that you had to lie to me over and over again. So what do I matter? And you rather let me think that you're having an affair with your attractive best friend than just tell me you're a damn superhero. So, there's levels to this, which Morgan refuses to acknowledge. But then he writes this amazing Lumberjacks book that has all these levels of integration of character arcs and stuff. And it's like, you can write that, but you don't understand this over here.
I'm sort of thinking that you should probably be like a couples therapist or something, because you clearly have a really good understanding of how relationships work. I was like, I know why, and then you're just like explaining it right down to it, and I'm like, that takes most men 50, 60 years to learn, and then they still don't get it right.
Well, I'm almost 40, so I've obviously made my own mistakes and had to learn things, the hard way and the easy way or whatnot. But I think I'm married now, so I think I'm finally learning. So I don't know.
Well, it sounds like you got a decent handle on it. I mean, most guys I know couldn't even take care of themselves at the age of 30. So I mean, like I've got two brothers, and both of them would be so screwed. Like I think that the one in particular would actually starve to death if he didn't have a girlfriend to take care of him, because his girlfriend wasn't there. And then my other brother just had a baby with his wife, and I'm like, dude, you are a walking mess. How are you going to take care of this baby? He's just lucky he has a very large and supportive family.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got a question for our chat.
His wife is a very, very good woman.
Hey, what did Beyonce say? Women run the world?
Something like that.
I mean, a lot of the people I work with are women. Like at the last couple, like my job beforehand, it was just me and another guy. And the job that I'm working at right now, there's 3 men and 12 women. So there's and at Freestyle Comics, the team of FSK is women ran. So I don't know what we would do without y'all. So no complaints from me at all. But I do have a question for the chat, for the people that are viewing and watching us right now. If you have not backed the Hotshot Kickstarter, what would make you back the Hotshot Kickstarter right now? There are all types of different levels on this Kickstarter. There are levels for old fans of the series, new fans of the series, hardcore comic book collectors, and new comic book collectors. Tell me or ask me right now, what would convince you to go to Kickstarter and back this right now? And that's all I got, because I guess we got to wait for people to catch that.
No, that's a good question.
I've always wondered about the time that it takes to read a comic, and it made me wonder how the whole thread of the thought kind of trickled into accessibility, comics accessibility. And I was like, you need to record it, like record your voice clips of every page of with your actors, and then have somebody with a very, very soothing yet commanding, Morgan Freeman type voice do the narration to make, to narrate the panels, so that I can just sit and listen to it on Audible or something.
That would be awesome.
It wouldn't be awesome. As entertaining as being able to see the art too, because like that's half the fun of comic books, like literally half the fun. But it would be an interesting medium. And actually, we have a guest coming on in a few weeks. Not next episode, but the one after that, I think, to talk about comics accessibility. So I'm definitely like, that was one of my questions for those two guests. So I'm like, that's what I want though, is like, so that I can pop the play button on it and be able to listen to it. So I'm curious about if anybody else would be interested in that.
Well, that's so funny that you brought that up, as you are helping work on the voiceover episodes for Hotshot. Once we reach our $9,000 goal, the first episode of Hotshot voiceover will be unlocked. But we are animating the comic pages to a degree with the voiceovers. We'll have sound effects and everything in there. But that's not. I think that's just like a flick of one more switch to save it as just audio only and upload it. So
you need a narrator of some sort.
I didn't think about, just doing an audio version of it or whatnot. Like that would be kind of cool. Now I need somebody with the, like you said, like an ultra sexy Morgan Freeman, type of narration voice though.
Yeah, we got to get somebody. I don't think I know anybody. Maybe I do. Tell Eric to start working on it. Tell him to get working on his Morgan Freeman voice. But like I would, I mean, everybody jumps to Morgan Freeman first as narrator because he's just got such a cool freaking voice.
Mm-hmm.
But Alan Rickman type voice, I could go for that.
Oh,
like
okay.
Women, what was the one National Geographic World Planet Earth thing that Sigourney Weaver did?
Yeah.
He is a beautiful narrator.
Mm-hmm.
And like the lady who plays Abby on NCIS. I like to play TV shows while I'm working because for some reason that engages the part of my brain that is otherwise unoccupied, and that makes me distracted. So if I play a TV show, then I can continue working without getting distracted and not getting my work done. And I've been on NCIS lately, even though it's a garbage show. We'll argue about that later, but it's a garbage show. But like I like the girl who plays the actress who plays Abby. Mm-hmm. She's got that kind of gravelly, low voice, and like I think she would probably be good as a narrator. Like her voice would be good.
Yeah, see that's cool because like people that are good at narration are people that you never would have thought about it, until you like hear them do it, and you're like, oh shit. I would have never put that together with that because I would have never thought that, let's get Sigourney Weaver to narrate something. And then when I heard it, I was like, oh, she's actually really, really good at this.
Yeah, they have a good voice for it or a good. Yeah.
Laura, you would be a good narrator voice. You got that lower tone that could be, if you just read off your script and be very soothing, you could totally do that.
I could try it, yeah. I'm so self-conscious of my voice. I hate hearing it.
Oh, same. My voice to me when I'm talking sounds several notes lower than it actually is. And then when I hear it played back, I'm like, oh my God, is that what I really sound like?
Oh yeah.
And I get a lot of people, especially back when I used to do customer service at the university and I was on the phone a lot, and people would just automatically assume that I was one of the students that just got out of high school and it's my first year in, and I was like, bitch, I'm 35. What are you talking about? I have a mortgage and gray hair, okay? You cannot talk to me like that.
Stop with the disrespect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, no, it's just made me think that I can do scripted stuff when I'm rehearsing, when I have a chance to rehearse, like this kind of stuff. I know I'm a little bit stuttery and I repeat myself a lot and whatnot, but if I'm doing scripted stuff, like when we had to do rehearsed speeches for school and whatnot, I was pretty good at those, and I can read stuff that I've practiced at least once, and I feel like my voice is not right for just any kind of like Lori, I feel like your voice would be suitable for a very broad range of genres, whereas I would need a very specific story to be able to narrate effectively.
I don't care for my voice at all. The first time I did the voiceovers for Hotshot, I voiced like 17 of the 19 characters, and it was terrible. But like I played it for kids in grade schools, and they absolutely loved it. And so this time I was like, no, I'm finding people to voice act. I'm only doing one role. That's it. And there's clearly a difference. Like if there's I definitely respect people that can voice act. It's a different type of beast.
And it actually, with when you don't have to listen to your own voice being played over and over again, it makes it easier for you to create the product in make it the way you want it to be and quality wise, because you aren't cringing at the sound of your own voice constantly.
Yeah.
Right.
And well, if you voiced most of the characters in the first one, then I can imagine that was probably half your problem, is that you were just going every time you listen to it back. Yeah.
I know. Kids ate it up though. They were just laughing at every slightly twitched voice that I had.
Right. Well, and like people who aren't used to your voice, like they can't tell that they're all you. Do you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
listen to it and you're like, this all sounds like me doing voices.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But like other people who aren't used to your voice, like they can't tell that. It's weird
Yeah.
how
'Cause
that works.
They're not used to you or whatnot.
It's one of those things where if you told me, I would definitely be able to tell after that. But like, yeah, if you don't say anything beforehand, good possibility that nobody would notice.
Yeah, it's funny how those type of things work or whatnot. Because I'm trying to think because I know something like that has happened to me on that type of level, and then when I found out about it, I was like, really, that was you this whole time? I did not know that. Katie said I have a weird accent for doing voiceovers. Accents are dope.
Yes.
Katie, it doesn't matter. You could literally you could voice over an ad for adult diapers, and it would sound awesome because you have a British accent.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I don't know if you've heard Katie talk. Oh, you probably have, Mike, with the other live streams that we've done. Yeah, it was like Katie's got a very nice Queen's English type
She does.
accent, and it's great.
Andrea Smith, she helps edit Emerald Quest, and my favorite part of our meetings is Andrea correcting me on anything in the book. I'm like, whatever you say, Andrea.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. We should not use that for that panel. What do you suggest? Come on.
Anyone with an accent is just automatically smarter.
Yeah.
Like,
Right? What is that about accents? It's specifically that British accent too. That standard British accent always you sound like you're smart no matter what you say. Very
No matter
smart.
what you say. You can talk complete gibberish and you're like, I'll do that. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, legend?
I trust you. That seems like
You sound like you know what you're talking about. And that's anybody in America. It doesn't matter if you're talking to an American and you're British, that American thinks that you are very smart and very well bred, and yeah, you just automatically get that pass right there.
Right. Until you prove them wrong.
Yeah. I know a few people with British accents that pretty well suck, but see, that's the thing, is that I didn't automatically assume that at first. Like I'm walking down the street here or whatever, and I just automatically assume everybody that I pass is an asshole. But that's because I'm a bad person. But when it's British, when they're British people, they get that pass. They do.
Awesome.
Now everybody,
Andrew.
my good friends, they know why. I was like, I shouldn't give those passes to British people anymore either, because I've met a lot of them, and a whole bunch of them turned out to be jerks.
I don't
I'm
know.
Bad at picking people to hang out with, I guess.
A lot of American movies actually have a lot of British actors just in them in general, and like they do amazing in these roles, but like I think also they may be asking for less money than American actors. I don't know, because it's a lot of them.
Yeah, I have 2 words for you, Hugh Laurie. Oh my God, Dr. House. I had no fucking idea who he was before House. And then I was like, holy shit, he's British. He's like super fucking famous over there. And then he came over here and we didn't know who he was. And I was like, I just assumed he was American. His accent, his American accent is flawless.
Yeah. Half the cast of Walking Dead is British.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to think
That's true.
There are some of us that were forced, that the guy in the bullet bending vid, the one with Angelina Jolie.
Wanted.
Yes, that one. James McAvoy.
Yeah.
His accent's kind of crap.
He
doesn't have the best. Like it's passable as an American accent, but his I called him on that because when I saw that movie, I didn't know who he was either, and I had to look him up, and I was like, yeah, I didn't think he was American.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, Katie says, why do American movies often have British villains if we sound like you can trust us? I don't think that's the case anymore. But back in the early days of films and all the way up to the 70s or 80s, when the Cold War became very mainstream, and then our bad guys got to be much more, shall we say, Russian. and then in the past 15, 20 years, they've become a little bit more Middle Eastern, because we are a country full of people who don't understand what racism is, even though we are super racist as a general. Like especially movie executives, like they're just like, you don't get how racist you're being, do you? Like, you clearly do not understand how racist you're being right now.
Right, like I cringe at those movies that are like the super spy thriller, and like it's the Russians who are the bad guys, or like the military movies, and it's I'm just like, could we not do something else?
Yeah.
Could we?
It's always
Could we not go anywhere else? Like, I'm sure there's more military missions we could be doing. And it's funny because, like an actor like Jason Statham, he's in a lot of those type of movies or whatnot. But I watched Homefront. Is it Homefront? I watched Homefront last night on Netflix. It's something to have on while I was drawing, and he was just beating up other white people, and just a bunch of rednecks. He was just beating them up, and he was so disrespectful with it. And I was like, why have I never seen this movie? Like, I've seen all these other ones. I've never heard of this one. And, it sounds bad, but at the same time, I was like, I'm just glad he's not beating up on Middle Eastern people or Russian people or Asian people. Like, he's just in good old America kicking ass.
Yeah. I watched Air Force One recently. I noticed it was on Hulu or something, and watched it, and I was like, God, the stereotype of the Russian. And there's another actor right there. There's another English actor, Gary Oldman. That guy, it doesn't matter who he plays, he can pull it the fuck off.
Yes, he can.
And he was, you just don't know that he pulls off that Russian accent amazingly. It's just unfortunate that the Russian is such a stereotype. Like, that whole character was such a stereotype. And it's just like, there's a little bit of nuance in actual human beings and the countries that they're from in general. Like, you can't do that. You just can't do that.
I'm trying to rack my brain for like a movie with a Russian good guy. And like, I can't think of one.
I feel like
no.
Like, just a Russian guy. He's just Russian, and he just, whatever happens to him. But you know what I mean? Like, that's not a thing.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Like, that's so weird.
And then later on tonight in the Hotshot chat, I'm gonna message Lori like, I found one.
I found the one. It's about this Russian guy, and he walks his dog, and it's a great story. Like,
well, I mean, okay, so Natasha Romanoff and what's her face? Well, she's Sokovian. Wanda's Sokovian, but she's still like that general area. But even then, like, she's not played by a Russian actress.
No,
she's also still like pretty stereotypical too in terms of.
Yeah.
It's just we've kind of shoehorned the Russian people into one role in our movies.
That movie, it's another Angelina Jolie, the Salt movie.
Salt, yeah.
And she was the good guy, right?
Yeah, she was the good guy. She was blackmailed, and she had to fight her way out of it. So that is one.
But also, that movie is not one of the ones, like, if it was a big movie, it would have popped into our heads immediately. So it's not happening.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Mike Dolan said that Peter Stormare as the cosmonaut on the Russian space station in Armageddon.
Yeah. Which
kind of makes me, isn't in The Martian, one of the guys on the team, the Hermes team, isn't he Russian? Can't remember his name or his character or what the character does. So that goes to show you how main character they were.
Robin Williams in Moscow on the Hudson. But then again, it's like, but Robin Williams isn't Russian.
American dude, yeah.
I mean, I love Robin Williams. I mean, the man's incredible. But like, yeah, Peter Stormare, he is, but he does fix the ship. He fixed the ship, but he's very stereotypical Russian guy. When I think about how he fixed the ship and how he does, yeah, but he was a good guy. He was.
I'm trying to think of, and I'm Googling now. I'm trying to find like the name of the character in The Martian.
Even that's interesting because Peter Stormare is like almost always a bad guy or like a questionable guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Because I thought about him in Bad Boys, and I was like, oh wait, he was a bad guy in Bad Boys.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of a what's the movie with Tom Cruise where he changes his eyeballs?
Oh, Minority
Report.
Yeah, like that's another movie that's kind of but Peter Stormare is the doctor, and he's like kind of a scuzzbag, but he's not really a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Son of a bitch, where is that guy?
It's just, you watch all these movies and, like I watched A Quiet Place 2. We went to go see that, which it's a good, entertaining movie. It's dumb, but it's a good movie. It's fun. And then I realized as I watched it, the black people that are in the movie are used as shields to protect everyone else, and they die. Like it's so subtly thrown in there. Like the first time it happened, I was like, okay, he's a cop. I'll let that slide.
It could happen once, sure.
Yeah. And then the second time it happened, I was like, and those are the only two black people in the movie. I was like, we're still doing this. But
that's a fucking shame because I really liked the first movie, and they didn't ruin that one. And
again, it is a good movie. I just have two gripes, and that's with the overall franchise. Number one, I think they're the worst parents ever. I just don't understand how in the alien apocalypse you let your children walk behind you, specifically your smallest child and the deaf child. I just don't understand. I walk in a Target parking lot and my kids don't walk behind me. They walk in front of me. So in the alien apocalypse, I'm going to be sure that they're walking in front of me. And while this one, so you know how when you watch most scary movies, you're like, well, if they just do this, then, there is no movie. We can just avoid all of this and, go home and everybody lives. Well, they have a moment like that in A Quiet Place too, but it's not everybody can go home. It's you could make a whole nother movie if you made this choice. Like this choice is the right decision to make, and then moving forward, that's your movie. But they chose. It seems like they chose to focus on certain characters to give them more. Like it felt like forced character development versus natural character development. And but outside of that, if you take it as it is good. It's well shot, it's well directed, great acting, great setup, a good story. But then if you look at this one part, when you see it's like, if they just would have did this, we could have got a whole completely different movie. Everybody doesn't go home and live, but I feel like this is the movie that they should have done. But like I feel like an executive producer or somebody said, no, let's focus on these characters instead. How do we separate them and make this more about their journey, or give them more of a leading role? And I'm like, that was dumb. But
that's disappointing.
It's still entertaining because I definitely was interested in how when the aliens land, how did that go? That was super dope. And and the cast, it's well acted. Good action, well acted, and all that stuff. But you gotta take it with a grain of salt.
Like we have to just have you on sometime, just with no agenda at all, no Kickstarters, no titles, no nothing. And we can just go on tangents about movies because this is entertaining the hell out of me. But I was like, we didn't talk much about Hotshot at all, did we?
No, we did. Oh no, we did.
We talked plenty. I mean, we talked plenty.
We did.
I feel like we should have talked more about Hotshot.
No, because you know what? If the whole thing would have been about it, I think like that would have completely bored people. It'd have been a balance. It'd have been like a balancing act of trying to keep spoilers out or whatnot. I think we dedicated a good amount of time to it. We got on it. The link is in there. You know, we've asked people about it or whatnot. You know, you don't want to beat a dead horse. They know it's there. We've talked about it, and conversations like these are fun. They're good. People want to, as us being creators, people like to know what we think about it and participate in it. Like
that's true. But I think it would be fun. Yeah, I think it would be fun to just start with one movie and then just see where that takes us, like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
I'm absolutely down for it. Yeah, count me in. I've been trying to wait to give people time before I do my video on Quiet Place, because they just continue the bad parenting drama. It just annoys me. And like, I probably wouldn't even care about it if I didn't have kids, man. Like, as soon as that setup started in the first one, and like he's playing with the toy, and like I'm like, you don't put that shit down. Like, how have you not ingrained, like, alien apocalypse? If you make a sound, you die. Like, no, you're done. Put it up. We're not playing with the toys. And she gave it to him. As in, like, I'm like, what is happening here? Do you remember the first day? What these things were doing? Look, I don't know.
And then the parents went first too. Like,
yeah,
that argument is actually very interesting, because I agree. I don't think they would.
Like, I just don't. In that situation, I can't ever see like you know, one parent in the front and one parent in the back.
Yeah.
Make sure it's clear in the front, and make sure you're covering in the back, and make sure none of the kids are lagging behind. Make sure the kids aren't doing, because and I get it. Do not get me wrong. I get it. Kids are still going to be kids at the end of the day. They will be. I got you. That's why a parent in the back, to make sure that they don't be kids until we get back to the damn house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, please, man, do not start that, because that is an argument you will not win, and I don't care what anybody says. I absolutely love The Last Jedi. I think it's incredible. Lori's face!
That's what I was reacting to. I was like, what was that?
Look, here's my thing about Last Jedi. I got so lost and caught up in everybody's fan theory for what that movie was going to be, instead of just going to that movie and sitting down and taking it for what it is. So I was lost and I was confused the first time I saw it. I went back and watched it again, and I blocked everything out of what everybody was saying and just took the movie as Rian Johnson's Star Wars, a sequel to this one, and what it is. And this is part of my theory with Luke Skywalker. Everyone, well, not everyone, let's say a group of people who are fanatics about Luke Skywalker feel that he is perfect, and he would have never made that choice. Stop it. Luke Skywalker is still a human being who has made several mistakes and who has flickered with the dark side. He is a person who took out Darth Sidious, brought his dad back to the light. He is supposed to be the champion of the Jedi Council, and he has led them back to a spark, and then he has lost it all. Lost it all because of his family. That interchanges back with his daddy, who fell to the dark side. Now his nephew has fallen to the dark side. He is the one
too.
Yeah. He feels like all of this. He feels like all of this is his fault, and he was supposed to be the one that fixed it. The weight of the Jedi are on his shoulders to bring it back from extinction. He has made mistakes. He has failed, and he has also been tempted by the dark side. Even if it was for a second, yes, for a second, he would have thought it was easier to be rid of this. This is the man that stood against his father. I get that. This is the man that took down Darth Sidious. He would have flickered with that thought and notion, but he also brought himself back. Of course, he would want to go hide and run from it. He doesn't feel like this is a thing that is worth saving, because everything he has done has failed. There's no one to reassure him. There's no one to support him, because those people are dead because of his bloodline. So Luke Skywalker being a hermit makes absolute perfect sense to me. And trust me, I have no bias. I know that scene in the casino makes no fucking sense at all. I will give you that. I will ride with that. That is fine. But like when Luke comes out and fights Kylo as a ghost Jedi, do you understand that is the most powerful thing we have ever seen the Jedi do? Like that is the most powerful thing that we've ever seen the Jedi do, and it is the most Jedi thing that has ever been done because it's non-violent.
Yeah.
Luke created a legend. He created the spark that will re-energize the rebellion in that moment. Because even Rian Johnson, as a director, said, of course, I wanted Luke Skywalker to walk out there and crush all those ships with force powers. I wanted him to walk right in the middle of them and decimate it all. But what do you do with that afterwards? It's not
Right.
Luke Skywalker. It's not Luke Skywalker's movie. It's Rey's
Yeah,
movie.
no, I agree with that. Yeah.
So
I was more upset.
Movies. I like them.
I was kind of more upset just after the setup of the first one, just where they went with that one. Like with Finn especially.
Yeah.
There was a lot less Finn, and then the scenes with Finn made no sense. Like more like that. I was frustrated with where they went with it. But no, I agree with you about that stuff. I can see why that would make sense. I didn't need him to be invincible and perfect and stuff. Like that's fine.
And I absolutely agree with you about Finn. Like I thought the way they were going to work it out was Finn and Rey were going to be force sensitive, and they both were going to be Jedi. I thought that that's what it was going to be. Like we're gonna like if you were going for something to like really change the market, make Rey it first for the first movie. Throw them off with that. But since when have you ever heard of a stormtrooper fighting off the dark side and choosing to be good? Like, obviously, this kid has force powers, right? So we're going to get that. So I absolutely agree. I feel like what they did with Finn was a shit show. But I watched all the interviews with Rian Johnson and just talking about his craft and what he was doing with it. I'm like, Rian Johnson really is a fan of Star Wars, and I know a lot of people don't like him in this movie, but it's like if you look at it, the evidence of him being a fan and caring about the franchise is there. His story is just a darker story. It's not the story that you specifically wanted, because you wanted Luke to come in and save the day and be Luke Skywalker. But like you're asking, and I try my best, and I could be wrong. I'm not perfect. I don't know all the answers, but I try to also look at it from that business behind the scenes standpoint and the creative standpoint. You're charging these people with the job of reinvigorating this franchise and open it up to a whole new market. They've got to create a cast of characters that have to carry it or start to open up the door to carry it for another 40 years. It's not Leia's movie. It's not Luke's movie. That's why these were all goodbyes for them, because it's their movie now. So what do you do with them? But me and J-Man always fight about Last Jedi.
Oh.
No, that's fair.
I definitely saw a lot of the problems with it, but overall, I thought it was a very enjoyable movie. And
I remember having like an hour conversation with my husband Eric about the Holdo maneuver. That's in the second movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they argue that you can. What is it? They can. They destroy the fleet by just launching
into light
going
speed?
into light speed.
Yeah.
But like if you use that like in any other spot in the Star Wars universe, it just breaks the rules of the Star Wars world, because like they could just use this as a maneuver all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember having a discussion about this, and it was just it's it's sad because Holdo is amazing and that whole scene is amazing, but when you actually think about what she does, like it they retcon this thing that it doesn't, like you have to kind of be like, oh, that happened and it can never happen again because it will break the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of
that's fair.
With the Holdo maneuver, I just kind of thought about it as no one was ever in a situation where they'd be like, well, fuck it, let's do that. and you know she evacuated everybody on the ship. This is like the last bundle of the resistance. This was the ultimate never do this again last resort that we have to buy you some time. And I just feel like other characters in the franchise prior to this just weren't brave enough to do that thing, to be the sacrifice for that, because like who knows what will happen if you did that.
Right.
That's how I looked at it, but also point to you. If you do it in any other situation in Star Wars, it's done. Like it gets them out of everything. So why not just do that? But I also want to know how much these damn ships cost to make, because the Emperor really be making these ships on deck. Like, how long does it take to make them? How much do they cost? And they are so huge. I'm just like
how does money work in the Star Wars universe?
Right. My biggest gripe with the whole thing, and I hate it so much, is they retcon Rey's origin. I absolutely loved Rey being a nobody. Rey did not need to be anybody's child. That's what I really love about Rian Johnson's story, is that if we're going to talk about the spark that rekindles the rebellion, that rekindles the universe, then anybody is good enough to do this. Because if you look back at it, some people about to be pissed at me. If you look back at it, the Jedi are wrong too. They are a bit kind of elitist. If you were too old, you could, even though you had the Force, you had to be of a certain age. And even if you were of a certain age, you had to have the right amount of Force. It's like, why aren't you just taking everybody to have the Force? Why aren't you just teaching everyone that has the Force? And it's always this balance, right? Like the Jedi were so strict with their rules. You couldn't love, you couldn't like, you couldn't, care about things or whatnot. But then the Sith were all emotions and all feelings. Well, it's a balance of both of them that would save your damn universe. If y'all would just sit down and talk, y'all got to learn how to manage your feelings. Y'all need a damn counselor. Is what the hell y'all need. All right, that's what you need. Okay. What did he say? Why does Mike keep having all these based opinions?
Oh, I think you mean biased.
Oh, biased? I don't know. I think it's my disclaimer. But when I thought that was when Rey had no parents.
Okay.
When Rey had no parents, and you were like, oh shit. So like anybody, like you don't have to have Luke Skywalker's blood. You don't have to be a Skywalker to be great. You don't have to be Sidious to be great. You can just be great. Anyone can do this if you work hard enough for it, if you go for it or whatnot. And then they retcon that whole thing and made her Sidious. I'm like, that's ugh.
Mm.
Yeah.
You just destroyed the whole thing with the kid in the back of the room with the broom, because he had the Force. And I'm like, yes, we're going to get, this opens the door up for new Jedi, new Sith, like, because anybody can have it. And, I just think it just weakened it so much. And then you get Kylo. I'm a big Kylo Ren fan. And right when he got extra cool, they killed him.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, did he just give me the Han Solo shrug? Yes. I mean, he was giving me all the feels, and then, we're going to kill this guy. Yeah, he's done.
J-Man is asking the important questions. Who in the world would sleep with Palpatine? And I feel like that
my question was there too.
is a good question.
Anybody he wants.
Seen the guy?
Anybody.
I mean, maybe
wants.
he has, like, maybe when he's like not, doing his Sith thing, like he uses his powers to make himself look real nice.
Oh, I would definitely agree with that.
Like, and he looks all young and sexy, and I can imagine.
Well, that's actually probably something that we also shouldn't get into, because we are totally out of time. We're running over time.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, a little bit. We're about 10 minutes over what we shoot for. So, but we were having fun, so it's okay. And I think that we did just steal the topic that we should talk about when we have a Mike Rants show. We should have Mike Rants about Star Wars episode.
Hey, I'm absolutely for it, and I'm unbiased, so like I can I can see where some things would be wrong or whatnot. So it'd be a great discussion.
Yeah, but should make it a whole series. Like we could talk about each movie. It would take a while, but
I'm here for it. Like, I mean,
it's got to be done.
What else are we doing?
Yeah, we should, I was gonna say we should bring Eric on too. He was in the comments there a little bit. He really hates, so he would be an interesting, you guys would have an interesting discussion, I think.
Yeah.
Bring him on up.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one to do on those off weeks, Lori.
Yeah. And I love having a discussion with people that are actually open to discussion. All right, like that actually want to talk about it and like hear the other person's perspective. I don't have to change your mind on it, but at least like if we're going to talk about it, at least be open to hear what the other person has to say, because like I think there's validity on both sides. Like there are good and bad things about those movies.
And not just like start yelling at you and insulting you because you like them.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that.
Yeah, lose all fucking respect for them as a human being because they like a movie you don't. Like, that seems a little extreme, my friend. You might need to get an extra hobby or something. I don't know. Or like Mike's therapy.
Right.
So, all right.
Well,
do you have any parting hotshot thoughts before we cut everybody off from this compelling discussion about Star Wars?
If you guys,
where's the Hotshot? Where's the Kickstarter at right now? Did it go up at all anymore?
No, we're at 8,254. Which we did get one pledge today. Yeah, so we're good. We did get a pledge today, so that is perfectly fine. I appreciate that so much. You've heard us. We've talked about it. You got 15 days to get over there and check it out. The Hotshot Kickstarter is at freestylecomics.net. It's on that little thing down there. Wait,
underneath Lori and me there.
Right there. Boom. 10 issues of Hotshot out right now. We've collected them into 2 trades, Volume 1, Volume 2. Issue 0 is getting lettered. Issue 0 has never been lettered before. It was a silent issue. It is getting lettered. And our newest issue, number 9, is available as well. So you can get the whole Hotshot series in this Kickstarter. We have stuff for old fans. We have stuff for new fans. We have stuff for hardcore comic book collectors. And we have stuff for brand new comic book collectors. I would advise you check out all the different levels. My friend Dana has had to change her pledge level 4 times. Because every time I've gone live, I've talked about something that was on the Kickstarter that she did not know that was there. So make sure you check out all the levels. I think there's something there for everybody. And if you don't have a lot of money and you say all I can give is $1, I am not too good for $1. We take those stack up. If you don't have any money at all because times is hard, I get it. Can you give us a share?
Yeah.
Give us a share to your network. Maybe somebody in your world, in your universe, likes comic books, and this would be right up their alley. If you like Invincible, Naruto, Spider-Man, those type of comic books, Hotshot's going to be the book for you. And we got a total of 19 different books on there on top of the Hotshot books. So, at your convenience. There's 15 days left to go. I want to thank you guys for letting me be on here and share your platform and talk about geek shit with y'all all night. I really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you coming. Thank you for coming and talking about.
It was awesome.
And thank you for coming and talking about. Like, you just gave me ideas for material for the next 6 months, probably. Like, we're covered for a while now. So,
awesome.
So yeah, everybody go back. Mike's Kickstarter, freestylecomics.net, and next week we're gonna do another episode of Critical Affection where we shit on season 2 of Castlevania. And I hope that you guys will come and help us shit on it and give us your comments and your questions and your thoughts on that. And do you have any UHS stuff that we need to talk about?
Well, like I said, I got the Elsewhere 2. There is Hotshot is in this book, by the way.
Yes.
Also.
Oh.
Or universe.
I forgot to tell everybody they can be in the new issue of Hotshot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that then. That's way more important.
Yeah.
But no, Hotshot is in Elsewhere, so you guys will be getting that book soon because that book is badass. I have a digital copy of it already, and I can't be like, that's awesome.
So good. So good.
Yeah, I got so caught up in the conversation, but that's okay because I love the conversation.
Okay.
I just put a thing in there.
What? The thing?
I just share screen.
Oh shit! There we go. Gotcha.
I was like, what? Where?
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I was looking at the comics. The comment section.
So we added a brand new tier to the Kickstarter today. As I was drawing Hotshot 11 last night, which I'm almost done with, I realized there was a perfect page for a cameo. I don't normally do these because they take so long to do, but the way that this is done and with the book almost being finished, we can get this out to you in a really good time frame. But be drawn into Hotshot number 11. It'll be $100. You get volume 1 physical, and you get the digital volume 1, and you will get a copy of issue 11, where you are actually going to be a newscaster delivering some bad news to several thousands of people watching TV or whatnot in the new issue, or the new issue of Hotshot, issue 11. If you've already pledged, you've already got your tier, and you're like, well, I want that now. How can I do that? There's also an add-on where you can just add it to your pledge. All right, there's only 6 spots left right now. So once those all fill up, that'll be all gone. But this is a really cool opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I want to draw some people in this book, and it's just cool to say, hey, I know those people. Those people are actually like, they helped make this book happen. So check it out. That's a brand new pledge. We actually just posted that today, I believe. Yeah, today. So yeah.
That's awesome. I get to ink cameos. Yay.
Yeah, and Lori is killing it on the inks. Like, dude, you don't know. I can't. Like we did the promo poster that's going to be the backdrop when I start going back to shows, and Lori inked that, and then Veronica Smith blessed it with those colors on top of it. Oh god, I just can't wait to get it printed.
That's so awesome. I'm so excited.
I can tell Mike's excited.
Oh, dude, it's a pleasure to wake up and this be the thing that I get to do, and just carry around my iPad and just draw comics and stuff all day. I drew my oh wait, she's around. I drew my daughter a birthday gift of her favorite anime, and turned her into one of those characters. So this is just all fun for me.
She's gonna crap herself. That sounds awesome. I'm kind of jealous right now.
It's all good time, so I definitely love it.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody go back Mike's new Kickstarter at freestylecomics.net and be watching your mailboxes for your elsewhere stuff, because the books are in and we're getting them shipped out. Well, Lori's doing all the work, really. I'm just encouraging her.
Encouragement.
Yeah, and the Surgeon 4 is about half done. We're going pretty quick. We should be done within a month.
Awesome.
And we got more news on the way. I think there's some stuff that's still under wraps. Can't quite announce just yet, but there's more stuff coming. So keep your ears peeled and your eyes open. My grandma used to say something, and it was way funnier than that. And I thought I did it, but I fucked it up. But keep your ears peeled and your eyes. I don't remember. Anyway, whatever. And then and come watch next week while we it's not Lori. I'm sorry you guys can't watch Lori, but since Morgan's not here, we're not going to have any comments about zooming in, so I guess that'll be fine. But our other guest co-host Julie is going to come with me, and we're going to shit on Castlevania season 2 in another episode of Critical Affection. And it's just a new little thing that we're doing. It's just a 4-part series. So if you guys don't like it, I want to hear about it. If you do like it, I want to hear about it. Whatever.
When are you doing this?
We're doing this next Monday, same time. Next Monday, same place, same interwebs addresses.
All right, yeah, I'm there. I want to be there for this.
Yeah, we did season 1 last week, and it is on our Unlikely Heroes Studios Facebook page, and it's on the Twitch page. Like, you can still watch it if you want to. It was a little clunky, and it runs a little long because we didn't really know what the hell we were doing, and we literally threw it together in about 3 hours. So, but it still was entertaining. Steven said it was very fun to listen to. So,
the next one will be even better.
Right.
Oh yeah, and the next one will not take as long either because we are fine tuning it and we're gonna get better. Like every episode of the 4 parts is gonna be better than the last, so it'll be okay. So before we keep you guys for a full 2 hours now because we had such a good tangent on the Star Wars stuff, and like I said, give me material for the next several months of off weeks. So have a wonderful night. And I think that we've covered everything that we need to cover. So we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Bye. Thank you again.